Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Spice and the Wolf, episode 19, in which the whole pyrite thing will probably finally end. Maybe in episode 20 we're gonna get an epilogue of that, but that's about it. I would think, at least, that it's high time to to finish this arc, to not let it overstay its welcome. Right. Regardless, what happened the last time? We had a week's break with Spice and Wolf, didn't we? Or did we? I know that many anime did not release in the past week-ish because of the Olympics. The last release was on the 30th. Yeah, we had a week of a break from Spice and Wolf, which I guess explains why I'm having trouble remembering what exactly happened in the previous episode. Lawrence visited Dian. That much is for sure, right? First, he went to the liaison, whose name I can never remember. To the liaison with Dian, arranged the meeting. Of course, the liaison served as a filter, right? Had to ask Lawrence, why do you want to meet her? What are you trying to do here? Why are you trying to buy pyrite? Is it for personal gain? Is it for selfish reasons? Yada yada yada. He was satisfied with Lawrence's answer, though, so he connected him with Dian again. So Lawrence visited Dian, and she agreed to sell him the pyrite, although she already has a buyer whom she promised that pyrite, but she said that she is more than willing to sell that pyrite to Lawrence instead. She just has to handle that previous buyer. Who that previous buyer is, I don't know. I thought it might have been Amati, but you guys told me in the comments a very true thing, that Amati doesn't like those underhanded tactics. He probably wouldn't want to deal with any heretics or anything like that, so it's probably not him. I wonder who would it be then, if not Lawrence, if not Amati. Holo? Could very well be Holo herself, who perhaps also came up with the idea of crashing the pyrite market, and so both her and Lawrence will be crushing the market together. That would actually be interesting. Because we have to remember that Lawrence came up with the idea of crashing the market after asking the question, what would Holo have done? So it's entirely possible that Holo came up with the exact same idea, and they are both gonna do the same thing. I don't know, we'll see. In any case, chances are Lawrence is gonna get his 400 premi worth. I think something around that worth of pyrite, and he will manage to crash the market, hopefully, right? What else? Lawrence asked Dian about stories of gods potentially, mingling with humans, falling in love, maybe having children, stuff like that. And apparently, plenty of stories like that, which is not surprising. Pretty much every single mythology out there is just chock full of gods, demigods, half gods, and other deities, just, randomly, not always randomly, but having relationships with humans, let's just say. So, of course, it shows how much Lawrence has grown, right? A little bit, right? He is finally, maybe not warming up to the idea, but considering it, right? All this time he was just completely dismissing the idea of him and Holo, right? Like, what, are you crazy? But now he seems to actually take it a little bit seriously, at least a little bit. Then what happened then? Um, Lawrence met with Amati in the market, right? And Amati gave him the 500 treni, right? That was the price, I think. 500 treni worth of coins, except he didn't give him silver coins, he gave him gold coins, to flaunt a little bit. He had to pay to convert the silver coins to the gold coins, but you know what? I have the money, Lawrence. I'm gonna give you the gold coins, right? Look how rich I am. I can throw money away with little regard. That was a big flex moment from Amati. Something else happened, but I'm having trouble remembering what it was, and there we go. Fuck. What was it? Something happened between meeting with Amati in the market and leaving Diane's place, didn't it? Oh, meeting with Mark. Right. Lawrence met up with Mark to talk a little bit about their plans, and he learned about the curse of a traveling merchant, right? Being unable to form any lasting relationships because you're always on the move. You never stay in one place, and you form some relationships with other traveling merchants, but they ultimately travel somewhere else, right? And you might not return to any given place for years, even. So it's kind of hard to form any relationships, and that explains why Lawrence has basically no experience in that, and why he's handling his relationship with Holo the way he's handling it, which is not the best way. So, yeah, that was an important talk he got with Mark, and yeah, and then he went to the market, got the money from Amati, and now we are waiting. Yeah, Lawrence is very skittish at the same time. Skittish is not a good word to use here. He's very easily distracted by Amarty. He's very easily distracted by Holo, by her presence in the market with Amarty. I just hope it doesn't cause any issues, right? I just hope it doesn't cause Lawrence to blunder something, to maybe, I don't know, not give the signal on time or stuff like that. I hope it goes well. It better. I mean, I really can't see this arc continuing for much longer than this episode, and maybe the next one for an epilogue. So it's probably gonna go well. That's my hope, at least. And yeah, I think that about sums up the previous episode. So how about we watch this one, right? What do I expect from it? As I said, I expect the finale of this arc. I expect either Lawrence's plan to go through and succeed, or maybe Lawrence's plan fails, but Holo, having the same plan, succeeds. And thus, as a result, all's well, right? We get a good ending still. And hopefully Holo and Lawrence have a nice, proper talk, right? Like bickering and stuff like that. That's fine. Bickering and joking around, absolutely. But you gotta set up those, like, real, proper rules in your relationship. What are we and stuff like that. And then you can joke about it, right? Only when your partner and you are both absolutely certain that you're gonna be sticking together, only then it is safe to joke about leaving one another for some godforsaken reason, right? Because you are certain that you're not gonna do that, and your partner is not gonna do that. That's only when it makes sense, but Lawrence and Holo kinda skipped that step and jumped straight into joking about, ho ho ho, I'm gonna leave you. And it can actually hit close to home if they are unsure whether it's an actual possibility or not. So again, hopefully they worked through that. But yeah, we'll see that in this episode, so how about we watch it? You're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Spice and Wolf episode 19 in 3, 2, 1, go. Is that the market? Yeah, I think that was the market seen in the on the city plan. Mm-hmm. Gotta wait for the last possible moment, but not wait too long at the same time. It's basically a game of chicken, isn't it? Whose nerves are gonna break first? We don't even get an opening. Smart boy. Yeah. Right, so Lawrence is gonna have to act before Amarty. He's gonna have to, figure out when Amarty is gonna jump in. Going higher still. I'm super curious how their system works with those little boards and them being broken apparently sometimes. It's not about money, kid. Yeah. Exactly. You can't buy love, can you? Right, everybody's waiting. Oh? Yeah, Amarty is acting distracted. Don't jump in too early, Lorenz. Yeah, right. Okay. He was about to shoot his shot prematurely. No. Stones? Oh, you mean pyrite? Hmm. Now, what if Dian's contact arrives now? You're not gonna have the money because you gave it to the apprentice. Yeah. And he has to have that product by then. Mm-hmm. This kid is going places. This kid is going places. He's gonna have such a great understanding of the market by the time he's of age. He already has a great understanding of the market, like surprisingly great for a kid in medieval times. I'd expect him to not be able to read and write, but he can do like mental calculations. He has the understanding of the market. Don't shoot your shot, Lorenz. Hmm. I hope it doesn't bite him in the ass. Selling early. The price is just gonna rebound right back. Better than nothing. Is 250 worth not enough? Right. Good question. Buyer. Ah. Yeah. You went in too early, Lawrence. Should have waited. He really doesn't do well in stressful situations, does he? I noticed. Like when there's a plan set in stone, he can execute that plan perfectly. But when something goes awry, he tends to panic, especially if Holo is involved. Where the fuck are you going? Oh, looking for Dian's people. Hello, totally not suspicious stranger. Message, not a package. Shit. Really makes me suspect that the other party might have been Holo. Anybody else would probably look at a quick buck to make and would have agreed. Mm. The kid is going places. Yeah? Money births money. Exactly. Well, shit. Another competitor. Probably not, but Mark and Lawrence himself, probably. Yeah, exactly. What can you do with 4 Treni, though? Assuming that's all you have. Yeah? The reality always verifies in the end. Guidepost, as in a goal? Hello is touching her feathers a lot. I wonder if she might be, I don't know, giving signals to someone? It's the second time already that she waved her feathers around. Yep. I knew it's gonna be her. You wanted the beating yourself, Lawrence? Yeah, I knew she's gonna be scheming from behind the scenes. Get fucked, Amati. You had no chance against a double team like that. And thus the contract is null and void. Oh? I guess we're not gonna learn that. Yeah, fair. You have a talk to talk, so talk. Yeah, you need to understand it. Saying sorry without understanding what you're sorry for is it's not an apology at all. Yes, it was. But I don't think that was the biggest issue here. Yeah. I knew that was some sort of a signal. But how the fuck was Lawrence supposed to know what it means? I mean, it was not unexpected for him to think this way. Mm-hmm. Yep, probably. She was on the second floor and Lawrence did not appear. Is that what she was trying to say? Probably. Yep, exactly. Talk. Yeah? Another fucking breaking log. I mean, true, but you had a pretty big falling out, so I can entirely see Lawrence seeing it as, actually breaking up. So don't be surprised, Holo. Yeah, very much so. What's the answer gonna be? I mean, not a bad answer. Could have been worse. And thus, a contract has been signed. With stories of yore? Probably. Oh, burning of the effigies. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, so Holo was there, hiding somewhere, I assume. Hmm. Did Holo overhear Lawrence's question? She did. Yeah? Let's add one more story to the bench, why don't we? What do you mean? What did you talk about? Oh, I had my suspicions. Were they... she a harpy or something? And thus assumed the form of a human. Yeah, so I was correct that she's some sort of a... maybe not a demigod, but some supernatural creature. Yeah, absolutely, let's. As I said, it might very well have been rebuilt already. Right? How many years has it been? I would not be burning straw effigies in a town square with buildings mostly built of wood. But I guess they didn't really hear about OSHA or fire hazard regulations back in the days. Yeah, let's have some fun. Problem with straw effigies burning is that they burn intensely but very shortly. Yeah, the tail says everything, doesn't it? The log is broken, but I guess this time around it did not symbolize the relationship. The fire of the effigy symbolizes it now. Maybe. That it? That it. Okay. Sure. So yeah, I think the next episode is gonna be an epilogue of some sort. Mark invited them over to his place, right? To meet his wife, his children. Let's visit Mark. Let's hang around, drink some, eat some. Let's have Holo embarrass Lawrence by saying she wants a couple of children like that of her own. A surprising amount of my predictions were fulfilled this episode. Okay, what's gonna be the title of the next episode, I wonder? Church Girl and Miller Boy. Oh, Church Girl. We've seen in the opening the like nun girl with freckles, right? And I guess the boy is a Miller. Okay, let's watch this episode again now, shall we? I like that the like bird eye view of the town actually has the market, right? Like you can see the market actually being here, and like almost you can see the stalls. That's cool. That's a nice bit of attention to detail. Sometimes, quite often actually, I notice in mostly in like seasonal isekai trash where they show the city plan from bird's eye view, and that city is usually, you know, the classic round with some palisade or some wall around it and a river going through. and it has like no open spaces, but then the action of some episode takes place in like a market square that's wide and open, and there's a mismatch. I'm glad they actually put care into making the plan of the city actually contain the things, the places that are shown there during the show itself. That's cool. That's a really nifty detail. It'll be tough. He won't be able to put up a fight without a huge amount of pyrite. So, did pyrite become? Oh no, this is a part of the trading post or whatever it is. I thought that maybe pyrite became so ubiquitous as to replace currency, kind of, sorta, right? Like, I thought it might be someone here making a purchase of something in exchange for pyrite, or the other way around. But no, it's just someone buying or selling it. We can only hope that Diana will send someone for him. Yeah, if he gets impatient and sells a middling number of stones, Amarty will just see through it, and he will be able to act afterwards, because there's going to be enough time for the price of pyrite to still spike after Lawrence's initial sale. You're pretty smart. Yeah, the kid is actually really fucking smart, right? Like, he can do like percentage-based mathematics in his head almost instantly. He has the understanding of the market. He has the merchant spirit, so to speak, right? He's getting some really nice tutelage from Mark. He got some really nice tutelage from Lawrence as well. And he's just smart, like, innately. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with when he's an adult and he starts his mercantile career on his own. He really is gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, that's Holo giving him the sign, but how the fuck was Lawrence supposed to know what it means? I don't know. I thought she might be giving a sign to, I don't know, to Diane's people, that yes, I'm willing to buy it, or don't sell it to Lawrence, or something like that. It's gone up that much. Mark is valuable as a source of information. Many people buy wheat, many people buy flour, many people visit him. He can talk to many people, right? He can know a lot, and so can his apprentice. 20% by noon. 800 silver 20 coins. Yeah, just instantly did the mathematic. He'll probably sell all his assets to gather all the remaining 40 coins, but he will gather the 40 coins, and that's what matters here. He'll do it before the poison from the sale takes effect. Yeah, Diana isn't here yet, or Diana's people. He will make a lot of money, but it's not always about money. There are certain things that money just cannot buy. Yeah, Lawrence did make a mistake by selling early this one time, right? If he kept that pyrite and then he got additional pyrite from the apprentice boy, it would have had a better effect. And then if he sold that alongside Holo, right? But alas, that's not what he did. I really want to know more about this system of buying and selling. I mean, it's pretty clear, I think, that on the right are the buy offers and on the left are the sell offers, right? In the middle is what's being sold. To the left and to the right, maybe amounts, but it would be a very weird numerical system, I'd say, or I don't know, maybe it's the name of a seller. No, I don't think names of the sellers and buyers are on the wooden boards. That much I think I understand, but the like breaking of the boards, that's interesting. I don't know. I would really like to know more about how it works. Someone came by our stall wanting to buy wheat with stones. yeah, that's what also made me think that pyrite might be kind of sort of replacing currency, at least while it is worth 250 coins worth. Yeah, better than nothing. Yeah, as I said, the kid is going places. He's tenacious. He's smart. He has an amazing understanding of the market. He has some great teachers. That's why being sold on credit is so poisonous. Yeah. I really thought something's gonna happen to the kid, to the apprentice. Maybe he's gonna be, I don't know, robbed in some dark alley, or he's gonna lose the gold, or something like that, and things are just gonna go completely to shit. But no, apparently not. Price dropped a lot. Yeah, making the sale. Oh. Without much of an impact. Not even waiting for the apprentice. He really should have waited at least until then. Right? He had like what, 100 something trenny, 100 something pyrite worth with him. I know he did have some pyrite at least, but if he waited for pyrite from Mark, he would have had a bigger impact. So again, bit of a blunder. As I said, I really think this is like right now. It seems to me that Lawrence has two issues essentially that he should really work on. One of them is his ego, kind of, sorta. Do I even call it ego? What I mean is that Lawrence is very cocksure at times, right? Like he knows that, oh yeah, like no biggie, I'm gonna win that, right? I'm gonna sell it for profit, like don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And turns out he doesn't know what he's doing. Turns out he doesn't have a contingency plan prepared. Turns out things are going completely awry and he's completely unprepared for them. Right? That's one of the issues that he's gonna have to work on because it's gonna bite him in the ass many a time. And the other issue that got revealed in this episode is that he really doesn't do all that well in stressful situations, right? Like when things ultimately do go awry because he was too cocksure, he's having trouble dealing with them, right? He just flails around like a headless chicken, and then he needs something to stop him, right? Someone to pull his sleeve, someone to slap him in the face, someone to yell at him, and then he's like, oh, shit. Okay, what the fuck I was doing, right? Let's stop. Let's think about it, right? That's another issue that he has. He really can just fucking spiral completely, and he needs that external stimulus to get out of that spiral. 250 worth. Should wait for Diana. Stabilizing buy, another buyer. Amati realized the danger of being sold on credit and sold early. And as it turns out, he sold early on Holo's advice, and Holo's advice was poison in itself. Right? Amati does not perhaps have that much experience with market like that, right? He buys fish, he sells fish. That's what he's doing ultimately. He doesn't necessarily gamble on the stock market or whatever you want to call it, right? So Hello had an easy time convincing him. Additionally, I think Amati just wants to show off, first of all, and um, he wants to show Holo that he, trusts her and whatnot. So when Holo says something, he's like, "Oh, yeah, absolutely, you're right, my dear. Absolutely, I'm going to take your counsel into account. Of course, I'm gonna do that, right? Even if it's a mistake, whatever. I'm rich. It's not gonna matter, right? Kind of something like that, maybe. I don't know. We don't really see much of their interactions." But yeah, Holo successfully made Amarty make a bad decision. Yeah, the seller did not agree to sell to Lawrence, and this is really what tipped me off towards that other buyer being Holo. Anybody else would, I think, probably agree to sell a portion of their merchandise for a stable and certain profit rather than gamble it, especially if they still have some to left to gamble with, right? So anybody else would just agree to that, no problem. Holo would not, because Holo would understand what Lawrence is trying to achieve here, right? And she would know that she is better to do it herself rather than leave it to Lawrence. But of course, we didn't know that yet. But, or rather, we didn't know that Holo actually was the seller, the buyer, and later the seller, but I really did have my suspicions. Yeah, Lawrence really needs that slap in the face, right? Are you giving up? The god of money doesn't come to those who pray, but to those who don't give up easily. Yeah, just fucking do it. And Lawrence needed that, and he got that slap in the face, and he collected himself, and he did whatever he can do. Yeah, that's basically how he works, right? If I sell that, this will happen. If I buy that, this will happen. That's why you need a guidepost. Right. Once I sell the pyrite, spread the rumor I asked you to spread. Selling, and of course, Holo is also here. Kind of a little, I don't know, a little unexpected. Well, expected that Holo would have her own plan that she would execute. Absolutely expected. Kind of unexpected, kind of out of the left field that she wanted to do that at the same moment that Lawrence did, right? Like, I thought that there is still like a little bit of bad blood between them, but it really seems that, Holo is just perfectly happy and smiling and taking his hand after punching him in the liver. No, wait, liver is on the right. On the left would be like, what? Kidney, I guess. Yeah, but still. And thus, the market crashed completely. No buy orders, no sell orders. Everything sold out. Price crashes. Amati didn't lose too much financially. Yeah, but his ego and his psyche took a hit. And we finally get a little bit of a talk. I was hoping for them to have a talk that would be a little bit more open, I guess, and like certain, like fucking concrete, because the talk they had, I mean, that's still good that they had it, but it's still, a little bit of allegory there, a little bit of kind of sort of joke, but not really there, a little bit of ribbing, a little bit of something left hanging in the air, right? It's still not quite what I expected, and not quite what I think would have been the most healthy for them. So I can still see their relationship suffering some downs. Ups, of course, absolutely, but I can still see some downs being there, because I really don't think they talked about like absolutely everything they needed to. We'll see though. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you cannot possibly think everything's been resolved. Of course not. Do you truly know what you should be sorry for? Yeah, that's the biggest part of an apology, isn't it? Right? That you apologize, it's like whatever. Saying I'm sorry costs absolutely nothing. Knowing what you did wrong, now that's the big part of apology. Saying I'm sorry for yada yada yada, that's what matters. As long as it's not I'm sorry that you feel angry. Because that's just the worst thing you can possibly say. You're never you're never sorry. You're never supposed to be sorry for how someone feels after your fuck up. You're supposed to be sorry for your fuck up. My contract with Amati was a complete ego trip. Yeah, one of the issues that that Lawrence has. I didn't completely trust you. Yeah, true. It disappeared because she was getting pyrite. Yeah. I think you laid a trap for me when Amati sold some of his stones. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that Lawrence did think that, right? He had every reason to at least suspect that, right? He might have hoped that Holo did what she did for his benefit, for their benefit, right? She gave the contract so that Lawrence knows what's up, stuff like that. But there surely was a suspicion that Holo might have actually converted to Amati's side, and Holo should not be surprised that it's the case. He instigated Amati, who isn't used to this kind of trade, to sell some, yeah, to make the shorting of the market easier. One thing I noticed in this episode, a couple of wonky faces appear sometime, right? Like this, like kind of skewed, moved mouth of his, like his head is turned to the side, but not so turned for the mouth to be on the side, right? A couple of tiny issues with art here and there. I noticed some of that caused by some interesting camera angles they use here, right? Like from much below or from above and rotated and stuff like that. And the perspective of the faces doesn't always match the perspective of the camera. But it's ultimately just a minor complaint. Even before that, you sent over the contract, yeah, to make me upset enough to take action. I was on the second floor at the time. She wanted Lawrence to run up to the second floor, bust in through the door, and be like, what is this, Holo? No, please don't leave me, right? Let's talk about it, let's figure something out, right? That's what she wanted. She wanted Lawrence to talk to her, right? And to maybe figure out a way out of it on, like, the both of them. But what Lawrence did instead is what he often does in his relationship with Holo. Distance himself, run away, try to solve the problem on his own after getting a slap in the face that makes him realize that it's a problem that is solvable. Right? It's not the first time it happens. There was that when Lawrence got into debt, right? There was that whole like, here, Holo, here's the remaining of my money. You can travel with that. I'm gonna do, I don't know, whatever, but at least you can travel alone, right? Him kind of, not pushing Holo away, but not treating the relationship as a partnership, kind of treating Holo as his ward, kind of treating her as that thing that he has and he might lose. But ultimately, when he runs into a risk of losing it, it's his responsibility and his responsibility alone to amend whatever mistakes he did. And he just runs towards that completely on his own without as much as consulting Holo, right? Not once does he think to seek her counsel in situations like that. Shouldn't try to play games and tell you how I truly feel. Yes, absolutely. You told me problems are solved faster if you get angry and argue with one another. Yes, absolutely. If you were to go to that second floor and if you were to talk to Holo right then and there, you would have come up with a plan very, very quickly without much of an issue. You might have even achieved what Holo wanted to achieve, and that is to humiliate and break Amati even more. You might have even earned a nice lump sum of money on the plan if you did that, if you ran up there, and if you discussed those things. And there might have been some screaming, there might have been some yelling, some punching, some biting and scratching. but ultimately all the entire thing would have been solved within the span of a couple of hours instead of a couple of days, right? So yeah, Holo is absolutely correct here. I thought you were rejecting me, but you actually said that because you returned to your senses. Yes, exactly. And he didn't understand that initially. He was acting under effect, I guess you could say, right? Not necessarily thinking straight, just very tunnel vision. The log is breaking again, but this time it doesn't symbolize anything, I don't think. You ruined all my efforts. Yeah. You were so obsessed with the contract you signed with that youngster. It is true that I met you recently. I believe we formed a bond. Exactly, but I don't know. Did Lawrence not see it this way? Was he just simply too cautious? Or is it simply him not being used to any sort of interpersonal relationships? Probably a little bit of that as well, right? He's not used to that. He's a traveling merchant. I want to continue traveling with you. Yeah, that's why I'm stupid when it comes to everything else, indeed. What am I to you? No words can fully describe it. I mean, not the worst answer. Really not the worst answer. I fully expected him to say something like, oh, my precious traveling companion. That would have been probably the worst thing he could have said in this situation, but thankfully not. Thankfully not. And he gets bitten as a punishment, and he takes it like a man, so... Maybe it's also signing some sort of a contract, I don't know. That's sometimes how it goes, right? The mythical wolf or whatever bites you, licks your blood, and thus the contract has been signed, or something like that. Doesn't have to be a mythical wolf. That's how Rory Mercury signed contract with Itami, right? She just licked his blood, and contract has been signed. How were you able to convince Diana? Yeah, good question. Visited for a different reason. What would that reason be, I wonder? Invent a story that Yoitsu may still exist somewhere and tell that story to you. What purpose would that serve? Was Holo afraid? Perhaps that now that Lawrence knows Yoitsu has been destroyed, he will just not bother traveling north, right? Like we had a go up north, go to Yoitsu and bring you back to your homeland, but your hometown doesn't exist, so whatever. I'm not going north anymore, right? Was she afraid of that? Probably. Would make sense, I guess. And if Lawrence here, if Lawrence heard that Yoitsu still exists, he would want to fulfill the promise he made, and so they would travel to where Yoitsu used to be, at least. Unnecessary plan. So, is it the plan that Diana came up with? To not sell Pyrite to Lawrence, to sell it to Holo instead? Or maybe. I should confirm the depth of your resolve. Yeah, I guess goal accomplished. Heard your foolish question. Really nice angle here. I really. I'm gonna actually like. Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot it because it's a very nice frame. Yeah, of course she heard it. I don't mind if that is what you wish. Please be gentle. Sora hers. Yeah, I was suspicious that there is something about her, right? She's always lit up with that beam of light. She has that ethereal quality about her. And I fully expected her to be some sort of a demigod or a deity straight up. But apparently she's a werebird to the same way that Holo is a werewolf, right? Something like that, and she elected to take a human form for a traveling monk, apparently. And I guess she sometimes turns into a bird, and that's why the feathers, probably. Wish to return to my hometown, even if it no longer exists. Yep. Yeah. Burning effigy. Do not mind burning passionately like that straw figure. Yeah, another bit of a wonky face on Holo, right? Like the level of her eyes doesn't necessarily like fully follow the tilt of her head. Minor issues here and there. The log is broken. Only one half is burning. Now what's we really stick with that shot for a moment, so it has to be symbolic somehow. I don't know. The log was broken into two pieces, and then one piece of it remains burning as if they became one half of a log. No, probably not. The log is burnt out and the effigy burns, so this is the fire of their relationship, no longer symbolized by the log but rather by the fire of the effigies. Maybe that would be closer, I think. And the effigies are burning in more places as well, it seems. Church Girl and Miller Boy. Right, that's the title of the next episode. And the title of today's episode was... it was said somewhere at the beginning, wasn't it? I wish I knew where. Yeah, there it is. Goat's Unseen Hand and Wolf's Unseen Heart. Wolf's Unseen Heart... Yeah, Holo's, right? Lawrence was kept completely oblivious to what she's planning and what she's thinking, right? He thought that Holo just left him and is very angry with him, but she also wanted to repair their relationship, so that's her unseen heart. And God's unseen hand, Holo's unseen hand, that she also bought the pyrite, and she also had a plan. Yeah, perfect explanation of the title. Alrighty. So, very good episode. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of tension until the very last moment, right? Like, I thought that surely everything is just gonna go easy now, right? Like, no problems, no nothing, right? He's gonna get the pyrite from Dion. He's gonna go through with the plan. It's gonna go perfectly well, and they're gonna talk, and it's gonna be, just peachy sunshine and rainbows. But no, there was still some really nice tension. Is Dion's contact gonna arrive or not? Are they gonna have the pyrite or not? Is Mark's apprentice gonna be able to come back, or is he gonna get robbed on the way? Is Mark actually gonna have enough pyrite, right? Is Amarty gonna see through that plan and try to use some contingency, right? It really was tension to the very last moment. In the previous episode, I said that it's wild how I know how it's gonna end, right? I know that it's gonna have a good ending, but it still kept me completely, tense all this time, wondering if things are actually gonna go right or wrong. And I thought that with this episode, that tension is just gonna completely go away, and I'm just gonna enjoy myself watching how the plan unfolds and everything goes fine and they fix the issue, and it's just gonna be a nice feel good episode. But even here, even in this very episode, there was still tension until the very last moment. Even when Lawrence was talking with Holo, I was still a little bit tense, right? Is he gonna say the right thing? Is he gonna fuck up again? Is he gonna actually understand his mistake? I knew that it's gonna end well, but even still, I really was just afraid and tense all the time, and it's crazy how those couple of episodes managed to do that. Anything else about this today's episode? I don't think so, not necessary. I'm glad about the way it ended. I wish they had a bit more of a straight proper talk, because there was still like a little bit of kind of floating around the subject, right? Like some subtext here, some subtext there, right? Like their relationship is much more established than it used to be, right? Sure, absolutely. But I wish they still went just a step further, just a little tiny step further. Maybe the next episode, I don't know. The title of the next episode makes me think that we're just gonna straight up start another arc. Whether in this city or in another city, I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I was kind of hoping that the next episode would be sort of an epilogue to this entire arc, right? Let's visit Mark's family. For example, I would very much like to see that happen. Maybe have Lawrence buy something for Holo, right? Like all this time, the things that Lawrence would buy Holo were like purely utilitarian, right? Everything that she got from him has a purpose of some sort, right? The feathers. He did not buy them as a decoration. He bought them for Holo for a reason, for a very utilitarian reason. So I would hope that Lawrence buys her something, right? Doesn't have to be an engagement ring, no, but like a bracelet, a necklace, a brooch, something that is not just purely utilitarian. That would be nice to see. I don't know if in the next episode we still hang around this place, then probably that's what's gonna happen. And then after the party at Mark's place, we're gonna meet the church girl and the Miller boy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. We will have like what, 6 more episodes to go still? Yeah, 6 more episodes to go. So perfect amount for another full proper arc. And I hope right after this season ends, we immediately get an announcement of the next season. That would be very, very good to have. We'll see. Again, we still have 6 more episodes to go, so no point worrying about that. We'll see what happens in the future, right? But right now, I would say that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can always go to my Discord if you'd like. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Spice and Wolf, but also Wistoria, Bye Bye Earth, and plenty others. Click the bell icon to be notified when those videos go live, and when I go live, because I stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without an Ed, Reina, Yukiala, Chibi Bro, Dr. World, Agamancer, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to sell any pyrite.